So first let's recap everything I've been using recently. Also, first of all, can you believe these nails? These are from Glamnetic. They're the Ruby Slipper nails. I've already had to re-glue 2 of them back on. Apparently the glue that comes with Glamnetic nails is not good. I thought it was supposed to be like really strong, but the nails themselves though I love. I feel like it looks like I got them done at a salon. Like they are so nice. I can't stop looking at them. Anyway, so back to the topic at hand. I do want to go ahead and put away my ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation. I've been trying to figure out my thoughts on this again because when I first rolled this into the drawer, you might remember in the Get Ready With Me at the end of my last Everyday Makeup drawer video, I wasn't sure if I was still loving this because I felt like it just like was not looking good on my skin, but I figured out that my skin's just been really dry recently just with the change in season, having our heaters on again, like it's just been an adjustment. So I think that was really the issue, not so much this foundation, because now that I've gotten my skin balanced out again, I've been enjoying this again. So happy to have figured that out, but I did use this quite a bit, so I will go ahead and roll this out. I'm gonna keep this in as well as everything that I bought in the Sephora sale because they're new and I just want to keep testing them, playing with them. But the Fenty Eavesdrop Skin Tint, really been loving this as well. I had a couple times in the beginning when I wore this and I felt like it was clinging to dry patches, but again, I think that was an issue with my skin, not so much the foundation. And I think this just needed a little bit more hydration layered underneath it in the form of moisturizer and sunscreen. So now that I've got that figured out, this has been beautiful. It is definitely blurring. It actually has a good amount of coverage for a skin tint. I would say light to medium coverage. So really enjoying that. I'm going to keep that in here so I can keep playing with it. I feel like my skin has just been too dry for this recently because, well, a couple times I wore it, I did not prep my skin well. Like my skin was just not moisturized enough when I put this on and it showed. I forgot that like you really do need to prep well with this. I think, yeah, my skin has just been going through it recently and so this has just been a little too dry. This is definitely not the product to reach for severely dry skin. Like if your skin is really dry, flaky, this is just not gonna work. Didn't end up using that a whole lot outside of those first few times, but I'm gonna put that away. I think I'll probably stick to using this when my skin is not so dry. Absolutely loved using both of these throughout the last month. The NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum, when I rolled this into the drawer, that was like the end of October, so it's been like a month and a half, but I started right below the word bear, and now I am well past that. So I actually feel like I'm kind of flying through this now. I'll probably end up using this up in 2025. I'm gonna roll this out of the drawer even though I would love to keep it in here, but I do want to make sure I'm also using my other concealers. And the NYX Pro Fix Stick, I think I'm going to leave this in here because I only have 2 color correctors and I'm just loving this one right now, so I'm going to keep this one in. The Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Powder, I did use this as my kind of default loose powder and really enjoyed it. This is a beautiful powder. I'm going to go ahead and roll this out because I used it a lot. I am going to keep my CoverGirl Clean Fresh pressed powder in here. I repressed this in my last makeup chore day vlog, and you can see I am getting really close to finishing that up, so that will stay in until it's finished. I'm also going to keep in the Tower 28 Get Set powder in Palisades Pink. This is just so nice on the under eyes, really blurring, smoothing, very lightweight. But like all my new Sephora goodies, I'm going to keep this in here. Ooh, a surprise empty. Well, I mean, I think I pretty much knew this was about to be finished in my last Everyday Makeup Drawer video, but this is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and it is completely finished, which is so exciting. I'm really happy to have this moved out. My goal in 2025, like my biggest makeup panning goal of 2025 is to use up all my primers and then be done with primer forever. So we are one step closer to that, which is really exciting. These 2 were Sephora Point Perks I got in my haul, these 2 sunscreens. I'm just gonna go ahead and keep these in here as well. It's kind of nice to have a little mini sunscreen in here if I didn't put it on in the bathroom, which is where I usually put it on, but it's nice to have some at my vanity just if I need it. Lots of cheek products in here. The Milani Cream Blush in Nude Kiss. This has been a favorite for so long. I still didn't hit pan, but are we really surprised? I'm gonna keep this new To Me Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer in Light. I really hate that they call it that, and the word bronzer is not even in the name. I guess sculpt makes it sound like a contour, so I guess, but I don't know, it just sounds so ambiguous. All Over Warming Complexion Tint. Anyway, this is a cream bronzer. I have the shade Light. I've really been enjoying this, if I could get it open. Really been enjoying this. Beautiful shade, really nice and buildable. I'm gonna keep this in here and keep playing with it because I like to give my new products, I like to give myself a chance to play with my new stuff. This is another new thing, the Hourglass Unreal Liquid Blush in the shade Vision. This is so pretty. A great winter blush shade, very like in from the cold kind of shade. I'm gonna keep this in here, even though it's not new to me, but it's the NYX Sweet Cheeks Soft Cheek Tint Blush Mousse in the shade Nude Tude. I love this. This is, I would have to say this is one of like my top 3 blushes in my whole collection. I love the matte finish it has, and the shade is just perfect for fall and winter. I love it. So I'm gonna keep that in here for sure. Actually gonna keep all the rest of this in here. These are another new to me things. I bought a lot of blush recently, but this is the Charlotte Tilbury Matte Beauty Blush Wand and Highlight Wand in Pillow Talk. I've been having fun with these as well, so I'm gonna keep these in here, keep playing with them. And then the Oma, also gonna keep this in here because I wanna use up the contour side. Hopefully this month, like by the end of the year, would be fantastic. This is how much is left, of course not including what's in the bottom. I think I could at least level this out by the end of the year, maybe not use up everything that's inside. Then in the powder container, I'm gonna take everything except the new item out of here. NYX Buttermelt Bronzer in Buttercup. I use this as blush. This is kind of tricky in that I have to use like just the exact right amount of product. Otherwise, it kind of looks a little shadowy on my skin. But when I use the right amount, it is gorgeous, like the ideal bronzy blush shade. So that's what I learned about this, but I'll go ahead and put this away. Same with the Jones Road, the best blush in Sandy. This is so pretty. Such a pretty shade. I always enjoy that. The Fenty bronzer in Into Sun. I love this. Always sad to put it away. My all-time favorite. Beautiful matte bronzer. And I'm also reluctantly going to put away my Nobla Skin Glazing highlighter in Privilege. This is, again, one of my all-time favorites. It's just the most gorgeous texture. And I'm also going to put away my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray because I cannot believe I'm already halfway through this bottle. I just bought this earlier this year. It is a mini, so it makes sense. But I'm still like, oh, it's so expensive that it's like one of those few products that I don't like seeing it get used up, even though I know eventually I will have to just repurchase it. Yeah, I love this setting spray. It's so good. I don't know how they did it, but it doesn't contain denatured alcohol, yet somehow it still helps keep your makeup in place all day. So this is everything that's staying in this drawer. It's kind of a lot, but we definitely have some room to add more things. All right, so in here I just have a bunch of eye primers and brow products. Those just stay in here all the time. Those categories are actually about to explode because I'm working on a showdown for both of those categories. But just a few Shop My Stash items in this container. I had the Surratt Soufflé eyeshadow in the shade Gris Dew in here. Really love this. This has such an interesting texture. It's kind of like a jello kind of feeling texture. And I love this taupey olive color. So that was really fun to play with. I'll put this one away though. I didn't use this at all, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it away as well. It's the Hard Candy Eye Def Metallic Eyeshadow. I believe this shade is called Crystal. Really pretty. I just don't think this is a color that I'm gonna wear in December at all, so I'm gonna put this away. And then the Hard Candy Eye Def Eyeshadow Stick in Pony. I think I used this as like a smudgy liner a few times. It's a nice smoky taupe, kind of more of a purpley taupe. I'll go ahead and put that one away as well, just to make some room in here for other things. And then these are just the mascaras, a brush, and some eyeliners. Both of these I bought in the Sephora sale, so I'm going to keep them in here. We have the Tower 28 one liner in Draw Me and the Fenty Beauty Fly Liner in Big Truffle. Both brown, just one's a pencil, one's a pen. I've been loving both of these. Really happy with both of these purchases. The Norvina palette, I think I have decided to keep this actually. I was planning on retiring it at the end of this year because it's getting quite old, but I used it again recently a few times and I really felt like the shades were performing just fine. Like a while ago I felt like the mattes were kind of starting to get less blendable, but I really didn't have that issue most recently, so I'm gonna keep it because I just love this palette. All right, and then in the lip section, loved using the Say Glossy Bounce Lip Oil in Push. It's a really fun brown lip oil. It actually has a good amount of pigment to it. I mean, it's not like super opaque or anything, but it definitely does look brown on the lips, and it's a really nice neutral brown. I love that it doesn't pull very orangey at all. I did not enjoy this quite as much, the Wet n Wild Color Icon lip liner. I really feel like this, I don't know if mine has gone bad or if it was just old to begin with, but I feel like it's gotten really stiff and waxy recently, like more so than it used to be. The Kokie lip liner in Nude, I love the shade of this. Just a really great light nude shade on me. So really enjoyed that. I'll take this one out as well because I used that quite a bit. I'm gonna leave in the Rimmel Stay Glossy in the shade Bare Minimum because I don't feel like I used this very much. I was using the Lawless Forget the Filler, these two new shades they sent over. I just was enjoying these so much that I hardly used the Rimmel. But the Rimmel Stay Glossy is the next lip gloss that I want to use up. So I'm going to keep this in here and hopefully try to use it some more throughout the next month. These two Lawless Forget the Fillers, let's see, I will leave in Rosy Out. Actually, no, I'm going to put both of these away because I think I want to pick out a different shade of Forget the Filler that I have. The Kapari Lip Glossy in Birthday Suit, this is another thing I'm trying to use up, so I'm going to keep this in here. I'm going to keep Estate Pina in for the next rotation. This has been in here like all throughout the fall, just because this is such a great fall and winter shade. This is really like the only time of year that I use it, so I'm just going to keep it in the drawer throughout the rest of December at least. I always love using the e.l.f. Hydrating Core Lip Shine in Happy. Really similar to the natural color of my lips, but it just kind of like evens them out, adds a little bit more color. It's very comfortable, so I will put that away, but really enjoyed it. And I'll also put away my Estate Cream of the Cream lipstick in Fluffy. Love this lipstick so much. Just a step up from concealer lips on my skin tone. And I love it. I love a light nude. Loved using that, but again, I'm going to put that away because I want to make room for some fun holiday lippies. So that is it for the recap. Let's pick out some more products to fill up these drawers. Okay, so I do need to pick out a primer since that e.l.f. Poreless Putty one is finished. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I've been retesting this because I was having some trouble with it over the summer especially, where it just like was not sitting well with sunscreens. But I've recently tried it again a few times and have enjoyed it a lot more. So I'm thinking this might make a good winter primer, so now is definitely the time to use it. This is definitely something I'm going to be working towards finishing up in the new year, so happy to go ahead and get a head start on that now. Then I want to pick a light coverage and a higher coverage foundation option. For the higher coverage option, I'm going to go with the Physicians Formula Butter Believe It foundation. I love a good matte full coverage foundation in the winter especially. I just love the way it goes with sparkly holiday glam looks. For a lighter coverage option, I'm going to pick my LYS Triple Fix Serum Foundation. This is my oldest foundation at the moment, so it is the next one I would like to use up anyway, but this is also just one of my favorite hydrating lighter coverage foundations, so I think those two will be perfect. And then for concealer, I think I'm going to go with my Tarte Shape Tape Creamy. I think it's been the longest since I've used this one of all my concealers. And then I just want to pick one loose powder to go with those two pressed powders that I already have in there. Let's do my Makeup Revolution Translucent Baking Powder. This is just a good all-purpose, like everyday setting powder. Then I'm going to pick one setting spray. I think I will go with my Makeup Revolution Infinite Mattifying Setting Spray. I really like a matte finish in the winter time. I just think it looks so pretty. Alright, and then for the cheeks, I do want to pick out a powder bronzer, and I already know which one I want. It's this one, my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer in the shade Fair. This is usually my go-to in the winter for like when my skin is palest. Not that my skin tone changes throughout the year like at all. I don't get super bronzy in the winter, so this will be my powder bronzer pick. I already have some cream options in there, but I do want to pull in my Glossier Cloud Paint in Sail, just because I miss using this one. It is so good. One of my favorite discoveries of 2024. I just want to use it some more. So I definitely have enough bronzer in the drawer now, but you know what? That's okay. I'm throwing that one in too. I already have several blushes in the drawer, but I'm just going to pick one cream or liquid and one powder to add in, and that will be good, I think. The cream I want to add is actually, is it this one? Yeah. The Ilia Multi-Stick in the shade Dear Ruby. It's a red, which I think is so pretty and festive. And then I also want to pick just one powder blush. I think I want to do this one. This is just to add a cool toned option because I have kind of a lot of warm tones in there already. The Flower Beauty Flower Pots blush in Sweet Pea. Just a really pretty soft pink. I like the way this shade goes with like smokier eye looks too. And then I think I'm going to choose two highlighters. One I know I want to add in is the Spark Cosmetics Ethereal Glow highlight. This is so pretty. I know it looks just like straight up white, but it has just the prettiest like wet sheen. And I think that's so fun and wintry. So that one is going in. And then I also want to pull in this one for a slightly warmer toned option. This is the Estate Highlighter in Lit, really pretty champagne-y color. Okay, I definitely want to pick some fun, festive lip colors because this is going to be the drawer that I have all the way through December, all the way through the holidays. So starting with gloss, I know I want to pull this one in. This is the Lawless Forget the Filler in the shade Cherry Vanilla. Really pretty sheer cherry red color. I think this is so pretty for the holidays. I don't usually wear like a full-on opaque red lip, but a sheer red gloss I can definitely get behind. Even though I don't often wear a red lipstick, I do want to pull in my red bullet lipstick. This is the Makeup Revolution lipstick in the shade Vibe Red. It is very bright and red, perfect for a festive Christmassy look. Keeping with the red theme, I'll also go ahead and pull in my AOA Studio Balmshell tinted lip balm in the shade Kitten. Another nice sheer red, definitely feels festive with that like gold glitter mixed in there. And then I feel like I need at least one nude lipstick, so I'm also gonna add my BK Beauty lipstick in Grace. This one is so pretty, just a great soft, very neutral, light nude. And then to go with that, I think I will add my Jones Road lip pencil in Nudist. I think that would be really nice paired with the BK Beauty lipstick. And then to go along with those red shades, I'm also going to add in my Essence Soft and Precise lip pencil in the shade Happy. This is a soft red. I actually really like pairing a lighter red with a bold red lipstick. I feel like it just helps the really bold lipstick blend into my fair skin a little more naturally, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's what I typically use with bright reds. And I think that should do it for the lip category. Definitely a lot of great options in there. Now I just want to pick a couple of single or cream shadows from this container. I'm definitely in the mood for glitter, and this is perfect for the winter. This is the Danessa Myricks Infinite Chrome Flakes in the shade Strobe Light. Look at that shade. It's like just like sparkly snow. So pretty. So definitely need to make sure I use that. And then another sparkly one I really want in there is the Flower Chrome Crush Pressed Pigment in the shade Quartz. This is the most sparkly dimensional topper shade. I love it. Then I feel like I need one good matte cream shadow. I think I'm going to go with this one from Merit. This is the Merit Solo Shadow in the shade Studio. I only like this shadow in this shade, or I guess probably like other lighter shades maybe, but I also tried the shade Viper and it was super patchy and just not cute. But this shade, I feel like probably because it's closer to my skin tone, it's just a lot easier to blend in. Okay, my palette basket had actually gotten so full that it is overflowing. These are like spilling over, but I just want to go through this. There are some new palettes that have come in, so that's why it got so full. But I definitely want to keep this one in there for the rest of the holiday season. This is the Nomad Polar Express. Really fun, actually really colorful too with those blues. Also want to keep Sultry in. I don't know, I really think of this as a holiday palette. Sigma Cool Neutrals, I will go ahead and put this one away. This one is so fun. I did use it a few times. I love the mix of tones in here. It really just has a little bit of everything. And I especially love the shimmers on the top row. Those are all four so beautiful. I'll also go ahead and put this one away. This is the Sigma and Angela Bright collab palette. This one also has like a little bit of everything. It's got some fun pops of color, lots of great neutrals. I love this one in the fall, but I'm gonna put that one away as well. I think I will keep my Sigma New Mod palette in. This one feels very holiday to me with all those berry tones. I actually don't know if I rolled this into my basket in the last video or if I just decided to put it in there after the fact, but either way, I'm gonna keep it in because this just feels like a nice holiday palette. I also feel like I haven't used it very much this year, so definitely want to squeeze some more uses in before my end of the year palette ranking video, which I do according to usage. I will put away my Nomad Ghost Town palette. I would love to keep it in forever, but I need to spread the love among some of my other palettes, but this one was so much fun, especially around Halloween time. Love, love the mix of shades in here. This is my favorite Nomad palette by far. This just needs to go in my Purgatory basket. This is the Flower Nose Star Moon Strawberry palette. Haven't even used it yet. Honestly, this feels more like a springy palette to me, so I'll probably use it more then. But I do want to give it a try at least before then. This is the Makeup Revolution, the True Icon palette. Definitely inspired by one of those Patrick Ta palettes. It has two creams over here. And the cream shades in here are really smeary. Like, a little bit goes a long way, and they're just like very creamy. But the rest of the shades in here I really have been enjoying. I think I'm gonna actually move this over to my Purgatory basket because I do want to keep testing it out, but I don't feel ready to move it into my collection yet. And actually same with the Kaleidos Escape Pod. This is another new one. I actually did end up using the Flower Desert Lights palette, I feel like a bunch over the last few weeks. You know what, I'm gonna keep this in actually because I just feel like all these metallic shades are so perfect for holiday looks. I will move the ColourPop Sweet as Can Be back into my collection. This one's really fun. I feel like it has a lot of great fall tones in it. and I did manage to use that one a handful of times. I feel like I have not gotten enough chances to test out the Nomad Chicago Speakeasy palette, so I think I'm actually going to keep this one in for another rotation. I do feel like this has a lot of really nice holiday tones as well. So a lot of these are staying in. I will move the Alter Ego Mist Haven out of the basket. Honestly, I just have gotten way too many palettes in PR, and I'm not complaining, but it's more than I'm able to really even test and like get to know, you know? So I definitely want to change that in the new year. I just feel like I've been overwhelmed with palettes, and like this one I feel like I've used maybe twice, and I just don't really have a good feel for it at all. Actually, I'm going to move this one over to the Purgatory basket as well. So these are the palettes that are going to stay in the basket. That's 5 palettes. So I want to pick probably 5 or 6 more to fill up this basket, and then after that we will also put together a new magnetic palette. I had a lot of fun with this one. I especially ended up using ColourPop Snake Eyes quite a few times. That's the shade up here. That is such a beautiful one and done shade. I really liked that one actually with this Sydney Grace shadow, which I think is called Crescent Moon. That was a really pretty combo. So yeah, I really enjoyed this little grouping of shades. But I want to put together a more like holiday looking color story. Okay, let's pick some more palettes. I definitely have some in mind that I know I love for the holidays. One of those is this one right here. I actually used this a couple times within the last week because I am definitely getting in the holiday spirit, and I just love how metallic those shimmers are. You can even just see in the pan like how reflective they are. It's kind of ABH Sultry-esque, but very different. Like every look that I do with this palette ends up so different from anything I do with Sultry. You know what, I think I actually decided I want to put the Nomad Chicago Speakeasy palette away because I think instead of that one, I want to pull in my Royal Europe palette. The jewel tones in here make me think of like multicolored Christmas lights. I feel like the green and gold would be really pretty for a Christmas look. Another one that definitely needs to be included is the Urban Decay Stoned Vibes palette. I love this palette. I used it again recently in a makeup roulette video and had so much fun with it. The shimmers are definitely starting to dry out, but I am still going to use them because they still look really pretty. I think I just need to make sure or try to remember to use this before I apply my face makeup. And this one just has a ton of super glittery, sparkly tones. This was Urban Decay's holiday release in 2020. A mini palette I want to include is the Unleasha Glitterpedia. This is #1, all of glitter. They have a few different like shades of this palette, but this one is just a bunch of light shimmery toppers, which I just think is so pretty, perfect for the winter, kind of for like those really snowy, frosty looks. I think these would be so perfect for that. So yeah, I'm really excited to use this actually. I honestly have not gotten a ton of use out of this palette yet, but I feel like now's the time. Another one that for some reason feels wintry to me is the Aether Beauty Rose Quartz palette. This is the original one before they changed up the shades and like the layout of this palette and everything. For some reason the cool tones make me think of winter, and I actually think that's all I want from the palette drawer. So those are the 8 palettes that'll be in my palette basket. I think this is such a fun holiday and winter basket. There's so many fun glittery shadows in here. I just cannot wait to use these palettes. Next up, I want to put together a new singles palette. So this is what I had in here previously. Let's see, I do want to take most of this out. I'm actually thinking I want to keep this shadow in here. This is the shade Smoking Mirrors by Clarity Cosmetics, and it's this gorgeous like gray to gold duochrome. And it feels very holiday to me, especially I'm thinking for like New Year's. I also want this for just a good staple matte shade. This is depotted from the Shared Planet Polar Bear palette. It's just a nice, really, really soft rosy taupe. I'm actually thinking also from the Shared Planet Polar Bear palette, I want this shade. This is like an icy white and blue duochrome. I think I want most of the shades I have from the Polar Bear palette in here just because it's such a wintry palette to me. This is the blue shade from that palette. So beautiful. Yeah, I'm also going to go ahead and actually put this one back in. This is a really nice like metallic charcoal gray shade. So interesting. And I kind of do enjoy a smoky look this time of year. Let's see. I might toss this one in. This is depotted from the ColourPop In a Trance palette. It's called Future Self. It's a really light pastel blue. Does that fit here? Oh, no, it doesn't. I was hoping it would. But it does fit there. And then I think I have room for like one more. I think I want to actually put another repeat shade in that was already in here before, but this is just so perfect. It's ColourPop Snake Eyes, and it is so gorgeous. Like, just such a pretty kind of purpley silvery taupe. I think it goes well with all of these shades, so kind of feels like a no-brainer. Ooh, is that not just like the prettiest wintry palette? I will go ahead and swatch it. Okay, so there are all those shades swatched. I just think this is the most perfect, like, cold winter day color story, isn't it? Love it. This would have to be one of my favorite color stories that I've done so far. Okay, so time to put some of these products on my face. I'm going to start with the Milk Makeup Primer also. You notice anything different? This happened today. Nathan and I both went for piercings. I got my septum pierced and he got his ears pierced. He's been wanting to get his ears pierced for years at this point, so that was really fun. Yeah, I'm still getting used to it. Obviously, it's only been in for like a few hours. I've been kind of going back and forth between either getting my nostril pierced again or the septum, but I decided to just go with the septum because that's what I really wanted. Also, having your nostril pierced makes makeup application kind of tricky, so especially like as it's healing. So that's why I decided to go with this, but yeah, I really like it. It's fun. And I'm excited to see what it looks like with makeup on my face. Okay, so I'm actually going to let that sink in for a little while because I actually do have sunscreen on underneath. I'm wearing the Goodall Calming Sun Cream. So I'm going to do my eyeshadow while I let that sink in. I'm actually going to be testing out a new eyeshadow primer today because I just ordered a bunch. 2 of them came yesterday. This is from the new brand at Walmart called Pretty Smart. And this is apparently like the drugstore version of the balm. Yeah, the first time it came out like a tiny bit separated, but I can't tell if it's maybe it's just supposed to be a little bit liquidy. It feels really hydrating, kind of silicone-y. Today for my eyeshadow, I honestly just want to use the Magnetic palette that I put together. Normally when I do the Get Ready With Me, I like to use the Tiny Decisions app to pick my palette from the basket, but today I just really want to use this. I just bumped my piercing to like rub my nose because I forgot it was there. Ow. Also, I decorated my background for Christmas. I am loving this cute little garland that I wrapped around the cactus. So cute. So I'm going to start out with this light matte taupe color in my crease. I think I want to go all over my lid with this frosty blue shade. I think that'll be really pretty all over the lid. And I'm taking that all the way across the lid. Okay, I'm going back to my crease brush and picking up a little bit more of the matte and just blending that right above. I love the way this goes with the blue. I feel like they complement each other so nicely. And then I actually want to take a little bit of Smoking Mirrors from Clarity. I'm just going to tap that on the inner half of my lid, right on top of the blue. Okay, I'm gonna leave the eye look there for now. And for my foundation, I'm gonna use the LYS Triple Fix. I love this foundation. I'm so happy to have it back in my everyday makeup drawer. Okay, things are looking kind of cakey and dry, and I'm thinking it has to do with the combination of the Milk Primer and the Goodall sunscreen. This really just doesn't play well with sunscreens, it seems. Yeah, it's really getting like cakey, even on the sponge, which is what happened last time too. It's mostly just like right here and a little bit over here. My whole T-zone looks okay. It's really just like my cheeks that look kind of cakey, but that's okay. We will continue on. So of course I'm going in with the Tarte Shape Tape Creamy Concealer. To be careful not to use too much of this because it is like a lot comes out on the applicator. I'm dying to use my Glossier Cloud Paint Bronzer in Sale. I just love this bronzer so much. And it really has been way too long since I used this. I also want to add just a little bit of the Oma contour stick, just to like the hollows of my cheeks, and maybe a little bit up here too. I do want just a little bit of my NYX Pro Fix Stick on the under eyes before I set them. And then I'm going in with the Makeup Revolution Translucent Baking Powder. And then I'm setting the rest of my face with the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Pressed Powder. Be careful not to bump my nose. And then I think the Flower Beauty Blush in Sweet Pea is going to be perfect with this blue eye look. And then my highlighter, I definitely have to use the Spark Cosmetics Ethereal Glow with this look. I think this is going to be the perfect snowy highlight. I'm so ready for snow. We haven't had any real snow yet this year. I mean, we've had like some flurries here and there, but I'm ready for like a real snow. Alright, for my brows, I'm going in with the Patrick Ta Brow Gel. And then, of course, filling in my brows with the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Pen in Taupe. I'm also going to take a little bit more of that matte taupe shade on a small crease brush. This is the BK A504. And I'm just kind of smudging that along my lower lash line for just some really soft definition. I love this shadow so much because it's so subtle, yet it really does add a nice amount of like contour almost wherever you place it. Even gonna take a little bit of that kind of up here in the outer corner to connect my lower lash line to my crease here, basically. Before I go in with mascara, I'm gonna set everything with the Revolution Infinite Setting Spray. And I'm not gonna do any like heavy eyeliner today. I really just wanna keep this a very soft look. So I'm going straight in with the Cali Ray Come Hell or High Water mascara. I'm using a black mascara today. Normally I use a brown mascara, but today I feel like a black mascara will look nice with this really wintry look. I also decided to do no mascara on the lower lash line. I'm just keeping everything really soft and subdued. Then on the lips, I'm going to do this nude combo. So the Jones Road lip pencil in Nudist and the BK Beauty lipstick in Grace. I think this is going to be perfect for this eye look. I absolutely love this frosty wintry look. This was so much fun and definitely got me in the spirit for more fun holiday looks. I hope you're all having an amazing December so far. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you had fun, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and if you would like to support my channel further, I do have a Patreon and a channel membership where I upload extra content, so I'd love to have you over there as well. A huge shout out to all of my current patrons and channel members. Thank you all so much for your support. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, and I will talk to you very soon in my next video. Bye!